see you at the top. I rise, been through a lot, and whether or not I climb, no one can stop my grind, cause I'm going.
I can get this to stay correctly. There we go. What's up, y'all? Sorry, I just got done driving for the day. I'm here in the Sparks, Nevada terminal. The last time I was here, I actually worked for Night Transportation, and Night's terminal is literally right next door to this terminal. So, I'm gonna go into a little bit on this discussion, I guess. Oop, if I can freaking get this thing to stay. From my knowledge of what the pay is, because there was a comment obviously on my last video from a gentleman, and like he explained, he has watched many videos on the pay for Swift here, and is confusing me personally. It's a little confusing myself as well, but at the same time not, because they pretty much just took the same pay package as what Night Transportation had when I was an owner-op with Night Transportation. So with that said, Swift offers two different pay packages here. They offer, at least currently, they're offering two different pay ways to get paid here. They're offering the mileage pay, which I am currently on, which unfortunately for me these last couple of weeks has been in not so great of a trend. I've only made an average of 2,100 miles. Hopefully that starts changing here soon. But they have the mileage pay, and then they have a, seeing how they have it now plastered all over their owner-op website, they have a percentage pay. Now, I'm going to try to go into, from my knowledge, from what I know. Now, don't quote me. This is just from what I know, the differences between the mileage and the percentage pay that Swift offers. So I guess we'll go, in my opinion, the easiest one for me to explain, because I've been on it before, and they basically just took the same pay package as what Night Transportation had. So, when I worked at Night, well, you know what? Let's not even talk about Night. I'm here at Swift. I'm a Swift lease purchase driver. So let's just talk about here. If you're going to be a lease purchase or an owner op, and you're on mileage pay, your mileage pay ranges can range from, I think, $1.02 all the way up to a little over $2, and that's without the fuel surcharge added into it. The fuel surcharge, just so you're aware, anybody that does not know what that is extra money added into your pay for the load that you're doing. When a company gets a load, they also get a percentage of their money for doing that load to go towards fuel that the shipper or the consignee is paying for. So on the mileage pay, they offer you a fuel percentage into the miles. Swift does it to where the way that Night did it is they do the shorter miles you do, the higher the pay is. The longer the miles are on a trip, the lower the pay is. They do a sliding scale pay. So a lot of drivers will sit there and go, "Oh, I want those super long miles. I want to make sure that I'm getting my miles in and whatnot." I mean, technically, overall, you're still going to get paid the same way. You're going to, at least in my opinion, there are a lot of drivers that are dead set on doing a whole bunch of those short runs, because they can get a lot more of those done, which pays them a higher pay scale. Now that's how Swift and Night do their mileage, is they do a sliding pay scale. So remember this, if you decide to come on, the less the miles are on your load, the higher the pay per mile will be. The more miles you run on a load, the less the pay per mile will be. They give you a whole breakdown of what your pay per mile is, depending on the miles, and then they also give you a breakdown of what your fuel surcharge is, depending on the national fuel average. They release a national fuel average once a week, and then for that whole week, that's where your fuel surcharge is sitting at. I think currently this week we're sitting at, can't remember if I think like 32 or 34 cents. I think it's 34 cents per mile added on for fuel surcharge. So I'm sure that doesn't really help out a lot of people, but that's the best way I can explain it. Less miles, higher the mileage pay is. More miles on the load, the lower the mileage pay is. But then you also need to remember you're adding in the fuel surcharge, which then bumps up that pay again. Now, as a lease purchase and an owner op, either one, you do not make jack shit being a local driver. So, and this is just from experience from when I was a lease operator over at night. You will have planners that will say, hey, I'm going to pay you extra if you do all these local loads for me. If you want to do them because you're bored and you don't want to be sitting around and waiting for a load that actually has some good miles, or you're trying to build a relationship with that planner in that area that you were at, then go ahead and do it. Just know that it's not worth it. You're not going to get paid very much. Even though they tell you they're going to pay you extra, you're not going to get paid very much. You're basically there helping them out. And I mean, in the long run, if you for business wise, you are setting yourself up to be better with your with that planner of that area, to where if you come into that area and let's say there's a possibility of you and another driver being there, the planner could remember you and be like, hey, they did me a solid the last time they were here, so I'm going to do them a solid, and I'm going to make sure that they get this run, this one load. Let's just say there's only one load leaving that area that you're at, and there's you and one other person. They're going to possibly make sure that you get it, seeing how you did them a solid. So I think I'm going to probably, for the mileage pay, I'm going to take some screenshots from my lease showing the differences with the length in miles, and then the percentage for the fuel surcharge. So that's where a lot of, at least for my videos, seeing I'm on mileage pay, when I talk about miles, that's where that comes from, is because I've chose to go on mileage pay instead of percentage. The one time I did go on percentage with another company, it just ended badly for me. So I'm very much not really willing to jump on the percentage pay until they kind of make it the only option and force me to go on percentage pay. Currently though, Swift Transportation is not doing that. They're only offering it as a beta. They're testing it out, adding more drivers as they're figuring it out and getting more used to it. If I remember correctly from a video that I watched from Trucking with Fly Rabbit, he was telling me the last time they had it, a couple months ago, they were offering it to drivers. They only offered like 100 drivers. Now, obviously, I don't know how many drivers they're offering it to now that they have it plastered all over their owner-operator page that its percentage pay is there. I don't know how many drivers they're going to offer it to. So now that will be my segue into the percentage pay. The percentage pay for Swift Transportation is 70% of the load. Now, that 70% is whatever Swift says that the shipper is paying. You're not allowed to see the rate con. You're not allowed to any of that. So for those drivers who are out there like, well, I need to see the rate con, Swift's not going to allow you to see the rate con. Swift will tell you exactly what you're getting paid. Now, if you want to believe that that's what Swift is 70% of what Swift's getting paid, then that's up to you. Personally, in my opinion, I think they're probably getting paid a hell of a lot more, but that's just me. I know they're getting paid they're making a huge profit off of even me being on mileage pay. So now, with that 70% that I am aware of, that includes the 70% will include your fuel surcharge. So fuel surcharge is not extra on the that 70% like it is on the miles. Miles, fuel surcharge is extra onto your pay that you're getting paid per mile. The percentage pay is all added in. So that 70% is your pay from what the shipper is paying or the consignee is paying for the load to be shipped, and your fuel surcharge all in one into that 70%. So you will not get a fuel surcharge when you come into percent if you choose to do percentage. I haven't ran into a driver yet. I haven't gotten out and talked to a lot of owner operators. I've talked to a couple owner operators / lease purchase drivers that are on the Walmart dedicated fleet. But other than that, I haven't really talked to many many drivers. I've listened, not talked. Well, in terminals, I've listened to company drivers bitch and complain. But yeah, so that's the most I can give you about the 70%. That's the most I know of. So they're only offering, at least they were only offering it to a certain amount of drivers. I know now that they have it plastered all over their website, I'm sure they're going to start offering it to a lot more drivers. For me personally, they have not offered it to me yet. I'm probably going to be one of those drivers like Trucking with Fly Rabbit. He said in his video, I'm probably going to be one of the last ones to go over to percentage if they decide to where percentage is the way that they're going to start paying their lease operators and owner ops. So most big name companies, that's how they do their pay, is percentage for lease op or owner ops. So I'm sure it's going to eventually come if it's successful and they work out all the kinks. I'm sure it'll eventually come to that point to where they get rid of the mileage pay altogether. So, but yeah, that's my 2 cents between the two things, between percentage pay and mileage pay. That's the best way I can explain it. So if that helps, hopefully that helps. If it does, I'm great. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. The best I can say is just call a recruiter and talk to a recruiter and have them give you the straight facts from what they are told or what they are aware of, and it comes directly from them. So, yeah. What would you choose, mileage or percentage? I guess that's my question for you. What would you choose, mileage pay or percentage pay? So stay tuned. I'm going to do a review video probably as well, all wrapped up into this. So stay tuned.
Man, it dang old complicated, man. It's like a dang old Rubik's Cube, man. You like talking about blue, red, man, then you get to one side and then you like mess it up the other side, man.
Good morning, all. So I figured I'd do, seeing how the end of the weekly pay period was over last night, figured I'd do my weekly review. Yes, I am in a dock. Yes, I am sitting in my driver's seat, and just to show proof, bam, I am not freaking driving. Just so everybody is aware, in the dock. Not that way. If anybody decides to get squirrely and he was filming while he was driving, no. So, Another week of crappy ass miles. Made it a little over 2,100 miles again, which is starting to look like it's starting to become a trend. I'm not too happy about that. 2,100 miles, and with me having this brand new Kenworth, is not leaving me a lot of profit margin from running everything and all my expenses with the truck. Again, I got to figure out how to get to show you guys my pay settlements. They don't do like RTI did, where they would email it out to you, and then I could take a screenshot and edit and all that other crap. Swift gives you everything all in an app. So, well, in their owner operator only website page. So yeah, I have to figure out a way to, without showing too much information, be able to get those and start proving to you guys exactly what I'm making and whatnot, like I did with RTI. So they do offer a printable version, but I got to get a little portable printer. Sorry for the interruption from the video. My home terminal decided to call me, so I'm yeah, they wanted to check in and see how things were going and whatnot. So at least somebody's checking in and calling me. My driver manager that I got assigned, I don't know, she doesn't really check in. She doesn't call. She doesn't nothing. When I first talked to her, she seemed a little annoyed that I was wanting to get on her board instead of going to a dedicated account in my area. So I don't know. I've had don't get me wrong, she seems like a good lady. I've had some interactions with her, and all of them were decent, but I've dealt with everybody else in the terminal whenever I've called or anything else, and not her. So either way, I gotta get a little, back to what I was saying, I gotta get a little portable printer, so I can print out my pay settlements, so I can start proving to you guys, like I did with RTI, what I'm making, show you guys exactly everything that Swift takes out, so on and so forth. I'm open and honest. There's no point of hiding anything. If you come on the Swift, you're eventually going to figure it out yourself. So why sit here on a video and go, oh yeah, it's so great, it's this and that, and then you get on and then it's a completely different thing, and then you sit there and go, man, that dude Aaron, he really yeah. I hate drivers who are like that come on to here on the YouTube and they just talk up and talk up and talk up their company, and then you look at reviews or you look at drivers who have commented throughout their videos and they're like, you're lying, I came on because you helped me come on, and then it's crap, I'm not making any money, I'm not this. Well, you gotta, with those drivers though, you gotta take it with a grain of salt, because some of them, yeah, a lot of your success is going to be dependent on you and whatnot. So don't get me wrong though, there are companies out there that, in my opinion, that are there to profit off of you. Don't get me wrong, I think Swift is the same way. Swift is going to profit off of you. They just I don't know, they're very open and honest about the majority of everything. RTI was the same way. When I was with RTI, they were open and honest. They weren't afraid to hide anything. If you had a question, you could ask them, they would answer it. So hopefully my miles will start getting better. 2,100 miles a week averaging is not a good thing. That barely gives me any profit margin, maybe $500, $600 in my pocket every week, and that's just not enough. Not enough to cover my bills outside of the truck. So I will definitely be needing to get more aggressive on the planners and trying to find things, especially seeing how, what I was told when I got hired on, the load board is an amazing tool to use. that they put a whole bunch of loads on there every day, so on and so forth. Don't get me wrong, the load board there, every time I've gotten onto it, there's a few times where I found a really good load, but unfortunately I was currently under a load and it picked up before I was able to get unloaded with the load I currently had. So other than that, the load board pretty much doesn't have that great of a selection of loads. So if they try to sell you on the load board, just know that it's there, that they're still testing it out, everything else, but it's not as great and dandy as they're probably going to try to sell it off to you. There's really crappy loads on there. Like I said, there are a few loads that are on there that are pretty decent, but overall, still trying to figure everything out here at Swift, trying to figure out how to run things. I've gotten used to reaching out to the planner myself and talking to them. So, yeah. Take everything, even what I'm saying, take everything that I'm saying with a grain of salt, because your experience might be different than my experience if you decide to come on over here to Swift. Or if you decide to go on from my previous videos that I've had, that I've made over at Riverside Transport out of Kansas City, you decide to go over there. Take everything that I have said in all my videos with a grain of salt, because, like I said, your experience may be different than mine. So, yeah, I mean, it's the same slow start for me, 2 weeks in a row. Not too thrilled about it. I'm hoping things will start getting better. Still trying to figure things out and go go with the flow. So, yeah. It's about all I'm going to cover for my weekly review, because there's not really much to cover. Is there a topic you guys want me to cover in a discussion or anything else? Let me know in the comments below, and I will do my best to make a video on it or whatnot. So, from the knowledge that I know. So, great guy to look at too on here on YouTube as well. If you want to know a lot about a little bit more about the company, about Swift and what they offer and everything else, is Trucking with Fly Rabbit. I think I may be saying his name wrong, his YouTube name wrong, but I think it's Trucking with Fly Rabbit. Go check him out. He covers a lot of the things. He seems to have the in when it comes to talking to the recruiters and everybody else over at on a corporate level, being able to get in on lives and everything else. So, with them and getting answers given to everybody. So, yeah, if there's anything that you guys want covered, just let me know in the comments, and I will try to do my best in the coming videos to make videos about them and make discussions and continue showing you guys my experience here at Swift, and go from there. I'm pretty big on showing the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm not going to hide anything or hold any punches from you. So, appreciate you guys coming and watching my video, and stay tuned for the next one. Thanks.